also known as 2-hydroxypropanoic acid, is an alpha-hydroxy acid commonly found in biological systems, fermented foods, and various industrial applications. Chemically, it contains both a hydroxyl group, which is OH, and a carboxyl group, which is COOH, which gives it a unique reactivity and makes it important in biological processes. In the human body, lactic acid is produced during anaerobic respiration, especially when the oxygen levels dropped during intense exercise. This process allows our muscles to continue generate ATP for energy. The lactate formed is then transported to the liver and recycled through Cori cycle, helping maintain the energy balance. Lactic acid is also widely known for its role in fermentation. LAB or lactic acid bacteria convert sugars into lactic acid, lowering the pH and creating the sour flavor found in foods like yogurt, kimchi, and sourdough bread. This natural acidification also helps in preserving food by preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms. Beyond biology and food, lactic acid has important industrial uses. It is used in skincare products, pharmaceuticals, and also as a building block for biodegradable plastics such as polylactic acid or PLA. These applications highlight its growing importance in sustainable materials and green technology. Overall, lactic acid is a highly versatile molecule with significant roles in metabolism, food technology, and modern industrial processes. Its wide range of functions make it an essential compound in both natural and applied sciences. Lactic acid also known.
Let's take a closer look at physical properties and chemical properties. For the physical properties of lactic acid is a colorless, viscous liquid or may exist as hygroscopic crystals that readily absorb moisture from the atmosphere. It has molecular formula of C3H6O3 and a molecular weight of 90.08 gram per mole. The melting point of lactic acid is approximately 18 degrees Celsius, while its boiling point is about 122 degrees Celsius at a pressure of 15 mm mercury. At 20 degrees Celsius, lactic acid has a density of 1.209 gram per centimeter cube. Lactic acid is highly miscible in water and alcohol due to presence of hydroxyl and carboxyl. However, it is relatively immiscible in chloroform, petroleum ether, and carbon disulfide. For the chemical properties of lactic acid, there are three reactions of lactic acid. Firstly, formation of lactate salts. In this reaction, lactic acid will react with bases to form lactate, salts, and water. This reaction called neutralization. Based on the chemical equation, we know that the acidic proton from the carboxyl group is replaced by a sodium ion, producing sodium lactate. They are commonly used as food preservatives, pH regulators, in pharmaceuticals formulations, and as moisturizing agents in cosmetics. Secondly is esterification reactions. In this reaction, the carboxyl group of lactic acid reacts with alcohols to produce esters. The final product formed is methyl lactate, which called ester. Lactate esters possess pleasant odors and low toxicity. According to Kumar 2007, esterification of lactic acid with the alcohols to form the ester and then hydrolyzing the ester back to lactic acid is known to be the most practical method for the recovery of lactic acid. Last but not least, oxidation reactions. In this reaction, the hydroxyl group attached to the second carbon atom is a secondary alcohol, which can be oxidized to a ketone, and the final product formed is pyruvic acid. According to Under TN 2006, pyruvic acid is a 3-carbon alpha keto monocarboxylic acid that is present in cells and extracellular fluids as its conjugate anion pyruvate. Common oxidizing agents include potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate.
This bacteria's recipe is different. When it eats sugar, it doesn't make gas. It produces something called lactic acid. This acid has a special power. It makes the milk get thick and gives it that delicious, tangy flavor. That's how we get yogurt. It's the same process for pickles. The bacteria eat the cucumber's sugars and create that sour, crunchy flavor we love. This acid also acts as a natural shield. It protects the food from bad germs, making it safe to eat for months. These tiny chefs help make so many of our favorite foods, like cheese, sauerkraut, and even soy sauce. Many of these tiny chefs are also good for your tummy. They're called probiotics, and they help keep your insides happy and healthy. So fermentation isn't magic. It's a team of tiny microbes working hard to transform our food in amazing, delicious ways.
Lactic acid
This bacteria
wears many hats. We can break its wide-ranging uses down into three main categories. First category is food industry and everyday product. Lactic acid acts as food preservative and industry star. It is widely used across the food industry, especially as a natural preservative to keep food fresh. Lactic acid also helps in the coagulation of protein in milk, which is exactly how we get products like cheese and yogurt. Lactic acid is important in household and personal care. We can find it right at home in personal healthcare products, furniture care, and even in the manufacturing of household detergent and mosquito repellents. Second category is heavy industrial applications. Lactic acid is important in manufacturing raw material. It serves as a crucial raw material for bioplastics and polymers. Lactic acid also is essential in manufacturing additive. It is heavily relied on as an additive for industrial paints and coatings. Lactic acid is useful in textile and leather. It plays a big part in textile dyeing and the tanning of the leather. The third category is advanced medicine. Lactic acid is one of the important substances in medical treatments. Beyond simple formulas, lactic acid is used directly in medicine, including cutting-edge applications like aiding the healing process of traumatic brain injuries. Let's look at why lactic acid is a holy grail in skincare. It all comes down to its chemical structure. Lactic acid possesses two vital functional groups, which is the carboxyl group and hydroxyl group. Because it has these specific functional groups, lactic acid is completely water-soluble, allowing it to interact beautifully with the outer layer of our skin. Here is how they work like tag team. The carboxyl group acts as an exfoliator. It breaks the bonds holding the dead skin cells together, allowing them to slough off easily. And the hydroxyl group acts as a hydrator. It is able to actively attract and bind water, ensuring the skin stays deeply hydrated. When these two functional groups work together, they transform your skin by delivering incredible results. By gently removing dead skin cells and increasing skin moisture, lactic acid enhances texture and tone. It leaves the skin feeling much softer, enhances overall skin texture, lightens dullness, and even out skin tone. Lactic acid also helps with hyperpigmentation, dark spots, and reduce acne breakouts. Lactic acid stimulates the synthesis of collagen, increases cell turnover, and visibly reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Let's look at why.
Consider this chemical transformation. The starting material is lactic acid, a molecule defined by two distinct functional groups, the carboxylic acid and the hydroxyl group. Under specific conditions, it undergoes an elimination reaction, specifically a dehydration. The molecule loses a unit of water, removing the hydroxyl group and the neighboring hydrogen atom. To satisfy the valency of the carbon atoms, a new carbon-carbon double bond is formed. The product is acrylic acid, a compound that simultaneously belongs to two distinct homologous series, alkenes and carboxylic acids. Ultimately, multi-series compounds can undergo selective modification and controlled oxidation of allyl alcohol the hydroxyl group is converted into an aldehyde. Because the alkene double bond remains completely unreactive during this process, the resulting product is acrolein. Acrolein retains its dual series classification as both an alkene and an aldehyde.
In conclusion, lactic acid is far more than just a byproduct of exercise. It is a highly versatile molecule that bridges the gap between massive global industries and everyday personal care. Thanks to the unique teamwork of its carboxyl and hydroxyl group, it doesn't just power manufacturing and medicine, it also acts as a gentle, hydrating powerhouse for our skin. Understanding its structure shows us just how much chemistry shapes the world around us. Thank you for listening. Bye! In conclusion,